learned a ton of information about being on the Oregon Trail. And I want you to be able to use that information to write a historical fiction. You get to make up your character, make up the person you're going to be, okay? But you also have to have facts in there, historical facts that we have learned about the Oregon Trail. And that is what you're going to be graded on, is the accuracy of your facts. And accuracy means what? We looked that word up the other day. The correct, right? The correct or the right information. Okay, if you're accurate, you have very correct or complete and right information. Okay? Okay, so I need you to get out your Lewis and Clark expedition. This is where you get to be a little creative for your journaling. Okay? You also have to remember that whatever information you put on here is the information that you're going to be using to write your journal entries or your diary entries. So if you think that you're maybe going to get confused and start talking like you're an 8 or 9-year-old in your journal instead of the married person with 3 kids that are going on the trail, then maybe you want to be that 8 or 9-year-old on the trail instead. You can be yourself and pretend that you're back there, okay? You can be a child. But you could also pretend that you're the mom or the dad taking your family on the trip, okay? And you have to decide how old you want to be. And if you're married, and if you are, how many children do you have? How many of those kids are you taking? Do you remember? Do you remember when we were reading about Joshua?
Yeah.
And do you remember he only had 1 sister?
Yeah.
And his cousin and there were only 2 kids in that family. But remember that one family on the trip?
Yeah.
That had like 17 kids going on the trip with them?
You can
Holy cow! Now, I wouldn't suggest that you pick 17 children. I think that would be difficult to write about. So, your job right now, in the next 10 minutes or so, 5 or 10 minutes, is to figure out what your name is. And it can be your name, or you can make up a different name. Okay? You have to decide, hold on, you have to decide what age you're going to be, if you're married, and if you are married, do you have any children, and if so, how many? And you might want to write their names on the side. Okay? That's why I said probably don't want to do that 17 children thing, right? Okay. All right. Reasons for leaving and going west. Why are you leaving? Why are you going west? Maybe for gold. Maybe for farmland. Maybe for just a better way of life, right? For your family. Okay. Good. Good. Maybe because the government said manifest destiny, which meant we need to go out and settle that land, right? We need to go out there. Here's who I'm going to travel with. Make sure you're listing all the people you're traveling with in your family. Okay? Who are you going to leave behind? Joshua almost had to leave his grandpa behind. He was pretty disappointed that grandpa came along at the last second. Okay. But are you leaving friends behind? Are you leaving other family members behind? Maybe aunts, uncles, cousins? Okay. And what are you bringing with you? Okay, so your job right now is to decide on your Pioneer profile. Okay? And you can go ahead and get started. I'll give you